hello, people. Welcome to stream. I'm sorry I'm a bit late. Welcome. Arsenal versus Bayer Leverkusen. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Kickoff. We must win. Everyone must step up. Win or it is over. Huge pressure game for Arsenal. All of the Champions League hopes are riding on this game. Lots of expectations, lots of everything, and it's gonna be a rough one, especially given the situation that Mikel Arteta has confirmed that Jurrien Timber is out of the game. He is not participating. He's still injured. Apparently, it is day-to-day injury, so he might be back for the for the Carabao Cup final during the weekend. Who knows? Obviously, who knows how it's gonna go? Nobody knows. At the same time, Mosquera we need a big game from Christian Mosquera, because the last time he started instead of Saliba, he had a bit of a mare, let's be real, and now it's again all eyes on him, just at right back, not at center back. So smash the like, people, subscribe if you're new. We're gonna go from here, we're gonna discuss the game, share your opinions in the chat, and let's do this, people. Big up Mubarak, big up Leverkusen, which is not the easy game, but Arsenal must win it. Arsenal must win it. There is no other way. We cannot advance if we don't win. Let's be real. So it's a must-win game. Everything, as we always say for the last, let's just say, month or so, it's a must-win game. And this is more must-win game than anything. Let's be real if you're looking for that way. Big up Marlon. Big up. I would say we have more of a chance. Way more of a chance. Big up David Raya. Big up. First goalkeeper in the Europe with 20 clean sheets in all competitions. What's its face? You're doing a great job. Big up to you, my guy. 2 golden gloves. You're going to get another one this year, most likely. So top notch. Big up. Thumbs up to you. Keep saving the shots. Hopefully we win it all. 20% at the Emirates isn't realistic, but it's your opinion. I would say about 65%, 60 to 65% win for us, 35 a draw extra time, and 5% it's going to Leverkusen. I would say it like that, because at home it's been a fortress pretty much for Arsenal. We have lost only one game in all competitions, if my memory doesn't deceive me, and it has been against, ironically enough, Man United, but it is what it is. Let's just put it that way. Gyökeres versus Shiko, man. These guys don't pass to Gyökeres. Well, we'll see. I think it's gonna be good. They can unlock Park the bus scoring tactics they drew with Bayern. Yeah, to be honest, Bayer Leverkusen should have won that game. They screwed up big time. Against Bayern Munich, Leverkusen. They had 2-man advantage and everything, and they didn't win. They messed that up a bit. Big up Oaxaca. Big up the 3rd place in the Premier League as well. Overtaken Aston Villa with that one win. You have had quite a resonance. I'm not gonna lie. You have resurrected from the ashes like a phoenix. Let's just put it that way, because when Amorim got sacked, you were 11 points behind Villa. Right now, you are 3 points ahead with Carrick at the wheel. 14-point turnaround. Big up to you. Let's see what you do in the future. Big up, coach. Hope you're doing well today, my guy. Hope everything's fine with you. That's not proving Bayern have a different... Yeah, exactly. Bayern have different style, different players, different system, obviously. And it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be interesting how Arsenal deal with that, because Arsenal must improve from the game away. And I think also to a degree, Arsenal, you cannot play much worse to a degree than we already did against Bayer Leverkusen. So the only way is up. Let's just put it that way. Big up, Marlon. Big up. Big up David Raya. Big up. Keep saving them shots. Big up. Ben White is available. Yeah, but I don't trust Ben White as far as I can throw him anymore. With the injuries, with everything, he has become more of a liability than anything. And I'm not going to lie, I much rather see Mosquera at this stage at right back than Ben White. Seriously, I'm not even joking here. Big up, Tyrell. Hope you're doing well today, my guy. Big up to you. Go subscribe to Tyrell Gunner TV on TikTok, on YouTube, everywhere you can. Top content, top guy, top collabs, and everything. Big up. And listen to him as well, by the way. Smash the likes of this stream as well. And subscribe, people, if you haven't already. Like David Raya, I'm just going to say. Ania, a.k.a. Marlon, is very touchy on these things, so he's gonna start to cuss you out and everything. If it gets out of hand, I'm gonna time out him, don't worry. So we'll see how this goes. Arsenal unfortunately need to sell the first team star in the summer. Thoughts on it? Who should we sell? Well, I might not be the right person to ask in this, but I would say Martinelli, Trossard. Hard to tell which one is the number one, to be honest, at this stage, anyways. And well, and people might disagree with this. Martin Odegaard. You might disagree with me on this, but I would say Martin Odegaard. Of the big players that tend to start on consistent basis, not get rotated a lot, I'd say Martin Odegaard. And he's out as well still. He's not available for the game too. And Arteta said he's pushing to be back for the Carabao Cup final, but I don't think that's going to happen as well. Big up Fusions, not Jazz. Big up, hope you're doing well. Timber situation, the latest suggests that the injury is not critical. Yeah, definitely. The latest talks and descriptions from Mikel Arteta and the media about Timber suggest that he should be fine, potentially, for the Carabao Cup game. But he is 100% out for the Champions League game, which it is a disappointing part because Timber is, no matter how you look at it, one of the rocks at our defense and one of the main pillars of our team, how we do things. But Mosquera has a big job on his hands, and hopefully he can substitute Timber for at least one game to the maximum extent, to the best of his abilities. Let's be real. We can only hope for that. We can only hope for that because just a few seasons ago, at right back, we had Ben White and Tomiyasu. And Ben White was in incredible form. He got injured, Tomiyasu played, and he was in incredible form. And we literally forgot that we even have Ben White. So as long as Mosquera can kind of replicate that type of level of performance, we should be fine. We genuinely should be fine. Let's just put it that way. Ben White will unlock Saka. I think White, like Aaron Tierney, good player, good delivery on the cross, overlaps. Yeah, that's the issue with Ben White. He's hell injured. And defensively, he's big liability for me because he has lost a yard of pace. He gets cooked more often than not. And as soon as he plays against pacier, more technical winger, he gets spun. And that is a big problem for me, genuinely. And for the fact that he hasn't played for such a long time right now, and to just drop him in the deep end, basically, in a game where it's a must-win no matter how you look at it, and there is no step back, backs against the wall, almost type of situation, I think putting Ben White in that realm would be, well, let's just put it that way, a very gutsy move, and if it goes wrong, Arteta will be crucified for it. So I definitely would go with Mosquera. I completely agree. Odegaard can't fill his shoes every season. What you expect from him, you don't get. And Martinelli and Trossard take too long on the ball. Yeah, and to be honest, Odegaard as well takes too long on the ball. And for Arsenal, by the looks of things, if you believe the rumors in the rumor mill and the media mill, let's just put it that way, there are already talks about Arsenal potentially selling Trossard, potentially selling Martinelli. Odegaard might be on the outs as well. We'll see how that's going to go. But only time will tell. Only time will tell. Let's just put it that way. Genuinely, let's just put it that way. Only time will tell. But for Arsenal to sign an out-and-out left winger, which is a desperate position we need to improve in desperate measures and as soon as possible, to say the least, for the last, to be honest, 3 years. In everything, we need to sell some of the bigger guys, let's just put it that way, for lack of a better word. And obviously Martinelli and Trossard are the first on the list, in my opinion, surplus to requirements from players that actually start on somewhat regular basis. Then it could be Odegaard, looking that he could be on the out potentially. Merino as well, for me, it's a weird one, but Merino as well is not cutting it. But I think Merino is gonna stay just due to the sheer fact that there are more talks about Norgard potentially already leaving and getting sold than actually Merino, right? Merino, it's a weird thing with Merino because he used to be at Newcastle when he was younger. It didn't work out. He went to Borussia Dortmund. It didn't work out too much. Then he went back home to Real Sociedad. He actually looked semi-decent. And even then, he wasn't one of the best midfielders at Real Sociedad because Zubimendi was better, Brais Mendes was better, that Berenecha was better and everything. And he was like the fourth choice midfielder. And a player who comes to Premier League back to play a position that is number 8, right? And has never played striker role in his career, in his lifetime, he looks better at striker than he looks in a number 8 role. That is Those are the big issues here. And with Merino, yeah, and it's very painful to watch Merino in midfield. I'm not gonna lie. The turning circle, like a triple-decker bus and everything, like the. I'll sell Havertz, Trossard, Jesus, Vieira, maybe swap White for Coyote, long throw beasts will suit us. And if we go for that strategy, then yes. But personally, for me, Arsenal have quite a few players they should be trying to get rid of to basically decrease the wage bill, to put us even more financially stable and sustainable due to wages, and then sign up proper players. But for me, Havertz, Trossard, Jesus, even Martinelli, let's be real, those are the players surplus to requirements. There are talks that Calafiori has said that he would want to return to Italy, which is very evident that he doesn't want to, it looks like at least, doesn't want to be too much in Premier League. He just cannot adapt to the Premier League's physicality, intensity. Looking at injuries as well, it's very evident that we have bought a bit of a hospital, let's just put it that way. And he gets injured even in pre-match warm-ups. So, yeah, Merino definitely could. I would sell Odegaard, White, Trossard, and maybe Merino. Yeah. Interestingly, you would not sell Havertz. I get why, but at the same time, 285 a week. Like Havertz is getting 285,000 a week for the output he is providing Arsenal with. There's much more left to be desired. Let's just put it that way. Martin Ellis, huh? What? Zubmendi, Havertz, Odegaard? It is when sell Martinelli, Odegaard, Merino for me. I can see that. I definitely can see that. Martinelli and Trossard at the moment both are on 180 grand a week, which is a bit of a iffy situation. The issue with Trossard specifically is the fact that obviously we re-signed Trossard last summer, right? But only increased his wages. We didn't extend his contract, didn't do anything with it, which at the end of the day means that at the end of the season, 2027, obviously next season, basically, his contract runs out. So there's a possibility we could lose him for free. So if Arsenal are willing to sell him and they are not actually looking in the future to extending his contract, that means kind of Trossard is the first one to go in this regard. Because if I'm not mistaken, let me check quickly. Martinelli's contract runs till also 2027. Both of their contracts run. Oh, no. Martinelli has an option to extend for a further year, so 2028. So Arsenal might exercise that option. So Trossard is the one basically on the chopping block. Let's just put it that way. If Mosquera plays and makes mistakes, his career will be over. To be honest, the way he played at Serback when he replaced Saliba just a few weeks ago in Premier League, if he plays like that, our Champions League hopes could be over. In general, it could definitely be a rough one. So I hope he is on his toes. He has a performance of a lifetime, to say the least. And, well, we get the job done. Why defensively? Nah, he's not solid. Definitely not solid. For White, who has not played a single minute in the recent times, he definitely is not solid. My starting 11 for Leverkusen: Raya, Calafiori, Gabriel, Mosquera, White, Zubimendi, Rice, Eze, Saka, Madueke, Gyökeres. Interesting, because we will get to starting 11s towards the second part of the stream. I already can tell you that much. But I will give you already basically a spoiler for what my 11 would be. It would be Raya, Hincapié, Gabriel, Saliba, Mosquera, Zubimendi, Rice, Eze, right wing, Madueke, left wing, Saka, and striker Gyökeres, because I would love for us to swap the wings around. That is something that Arsenal don't do pretty much at all. I'm really sick and tired of players who have their dominant foot on the inside. So they always cut inside or pass it backwards. I want to see our wingers to have their dominant foot on the outside. So they are actually less predictable. Unfortunately, I guess that's not going to happen. That's just wishful thinking, and we are just talking it somehow. We're just talking about this. You cannot sell Zubmendi or Odegaard at once. You can. And you can. There is no issues with that. As long as you buy the proper players to replace them, you can. There is no issues with that. Let's be real. Says the one who is selling Zubmendi and Odegaard. Zubimendi arrived 9 months ago. Yeah. He arrived last summer, so there is no chance in us selling him. Exactly. There's no chance in selling him. But speaking of Zubimendi, just briefly, to say that it has been underwhelming wouldn't be an understatement. Because for all the hype that big part of Arsenal's fan base built up for him, in my opinion, he definitely has not delivered. There's no chance in hell and nowhere near he is Thomas Partey's replacement, because he lacks so much compared to Thomas Partey in that 6 role. It's actually scary. Let's just put it that way. And for Low, who is Low? Keep Martinelli. Look at what he's doing. Yeah, but one competition means nothing. At the end of the day, Champions League, he's doing great. I get it. I absolutely get it. For me as well, I'm ecstatic that he's doing well in Champions League. But I need him to do that also in Premier League. Like 180 grand just for one competition player or two, which is like Carabao Cup or something like that, seems a bit wasteful. Let's just put it that way. At the same time, not my money, so I cannot complain too much, I guess. And I put Madueke on the right, not the left. Same. Madueke on the right, that's his position. On left, he looks lost. He needs to be on the right. And I would put Saka on the left. That would, I think, work better for Arsenal, 100%. Eze is on the left, Saka in the middle, and Madueke on the right. No. I get what you mean, but no, I don't want to see Eze as a left winger. For me, that's a no. That's a massive no. I don't know. For me, Eze as a left winger is a massive no. And the last time we saw him there at Aston Villa and how Mikel Arteta cussed him out, you can hear it on the mics. I think that experiment for Mikel is done and dusted and long goddamn gone. Genuinely feels that way. Big up, Peter. Hope you're doing well. Keep Martinelli. Well, one of them has to go anyways for us to sign a left winger. For me, Trossard most likely. Given his contract situation. Saka Cam experiment again. Well, we have to do something, to be honest. But for me, I see Zubimendi is very... Zubimendi is important, but he is only important in specific games. Let's just put it that way. When we are controlling the pace, the tempo, possession, and we are, let's just say, balling out and free-flowing in the attack, which sounds very weird to say since we're not, but we are passing with some sort of fluidity and we maintain the possession most of the time, Zubimendi is great. But as soon as we play these type of teams who press higher, who are more physical, who play the ball on the ground and they basically put one tackle into you, so to speak, straight into the bone, Zubimendi folds. And that it has happened throughout most of the season. Let's be real, he ducks out of challenges. He gets pushed over too easily. He panics in certain circumstances. He misplaces 2-foot passes. And for me, that with Zubimendi is a big issue. Let's just put it that way. Gyökeres has been Gyökeres has been, but I think tomorrow he's going to score. Definitely, I think tomorrow he's going to score. Also, for me, the goal against Everton, as weird as it sounds, Gyökeres scored not his typical goal, but also a typical striker's goal, poacher's goal, right place, right time, and the ball fell right to him. You need to have those instincts as a striker, no matter how you look at it. And to be honest, I would love to see Skelly in the 8 as well at some point, still. And I know I'm gonna bang this drum until it breaks in half, and then I'm gonna buy a new drum, and then I'm gonna still keep banging it. I want to see, for example, Skelly in the 8 and Rice as a 6, because I will still maintain this thought process that Rice is not an 8. He's getting asked to do certain tasks he is not fully equipped for. Don't get me wrong, Rice has been fantastic overall. He's doing the job to best of his abilities and within his abilities, and he's doing it very good. But Rice in general, his best position is 6, like it was for West Ham. That's how they won the Conference League. Like disrupting the play, bullying the midfield, springing, passing with long passes and everything. And I would love to see that. Zumendi, Martinelli, Skelly, Ethan are bench players. I would agree with that, though. I definitely would agree with that. Just Ethan is at Marseille, so not this season at least. Not this season at least. Gyökeres in all competitions and also in Premier League, to be honest, is our top goal scorer. Like 16 goals in all competitions and 11 in Premier League. So this won't be another season when we don't have a single striker in double-digit goals. Thank goodness gracious also for that. Because last season, we didn't have a single player with double-digit goals. That was the first time in 105 years of Arsenal, in 105 years, it has happened. Like, that was insane. Nothing personal. I just don't see Saka as a proper captain. Same. For me, it's Gabriel. Personally, for me, it's Gabriel. Trossard is a Saka. We'll see. Arteta says that Trossard is ready and fit to go. But we'll see, given that he has been injured and how he would look as well. And yeah, for me personally, with Trossard, we need some. Trossard's biggest strength is the fact that he's more technical than Martinelli, and he is arguably one of the most clinical finishers in the team, actually, whether you like it or not. Even last season, it was like that. I just wish he would. I genuinely wish Trossard was about 5 years younger. I'm going to tell you that. But if Trossard was 5 years younger, we might not have as big left-wing issues as we have right now. I just put it that way. I actually agree with Marlon about Skelly. The problem is he got figured out by teams. He's not finished, but he's close to finished. At left back, yes. This left back experiment with Miles Lewis Skelly needs to stop. Skelly used to be a number 6/number 8 in the youth system until in his last year and a half in the youth team, Arteta decided that he will play him like Zinchenko, basically, as a left back midfielder who plays left back who inverts inside. And he has stuck with it, and hence why he plays mostly left back as well. And it was very evident last year that even though he had a breakout season, he was phenomenal. Towards the end part of the season, he got figured out. You could see that. And he got the necessary fouls, yellows, red cards even, and everything. He needs to play in the midfield because his physicality, technical ability, and ball carrying skills he possesses is something that we really desperately miss in our midfield. And we need more of that. Let's just put it that way. We definitely need much more of that. Last time we had something even similar to that was Emil Smith-Rowe, and he's gone. So I guess it is what it is. Let's just put it that way. Big up Hendon. Brentford are 1-0 up, apparently. Coyote has scored a goal. Yeah, Coyote has scored a goal. Fiorentina actually are beating Cremonese to 2-0. Parisi and Piccoli scored. Big up to Fiorentina too. Wanjeri is an 8 and the 10 can play right wing. I think Wanjeri for me is more of a 10 right wing as well. Ironically enough, the same place where Dauman plays actually. Party was good. Gyökeres up to 16 goals. Yeah. Gyökeres is up to 16 goals in all comps without shadow of a doubt. Not denying it. Zubimendi was useless and anonymous against Everton. If he starts again, Leverkusen, that for me is the biggest worry. That for me personally is the biggest worry with Zubimendi, because Leverkusen will play somewhat similar style, and they also gonna get very physical and very rough with him, and he folds under that and panics, and that for me is a big worry. But that also has been an issue for Arsenal throughout the years. It was like that under Wenger, under Emery, and now under Mikel Arteta as well. As soon as teams, I'm very sorry, I think I have a splinter. As soon as teams get very physical and rough with us, right, we tend to disappear. Let's just put it that way. To a degree, it feels like we are scared of something. I would love to see something like that. I'm not gonna lie. I would love to see something like that. Skelly in the 8, Rice in the 6, Eze in the 10, and Dauman right wing, Saka left wing. Definitely would want to see something like that. Tesco is like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Can't see that, but also it's like too soon to tell. If Rice was at 8, he needed Szoboszlai or Xhaka next to him. Yeah. To a degree, yes. He needs somebody next to him like that. He cannot have because Rice is, for me, one of the biggest reasons why Declan Rice looks basically out of breath by 55th, 60th minute already is because he has to cover for Zubimendi. for at times. I think he cannot fully focus on his task at hand when he goes forward, when what Arteta has basically planned for him and has made in tactical drawings and in his ideas, because, well, he needs to look always over his shoulder if Zubimendi is still alive. Gyökeres has scored more goals than Havertz last season, who had 9, our top goal scorer. Yeah, we didn't have to be honest, that even sounds mad when you say this. Arsenal's top goal scorer last season had 9 goals. That just doesn't, in my mind, when I have seen players like Ian Wright, Nicolas Anelka, Robin van Persie, even Giroud to a degree, Alexis Sanchez, Lacazette, Aubameyang, Thierry Henry, Dennis Bergkamp, and all these guys, it just doesn't compute to me. How Arsenal, a team that used to be known for world-class, phenomenal strikers, have the top goal scorer of 9 goals last season. It just somehow doesn't click in my brain. But somehow, genuinely, somehow that was a reality last year. Ironically enough. Trossard being clinical. He's been quite clinical. Yeah, Trossard can go. But for me, he must prove his worth. Trossard, he has proven his worth. No matter how you look at it, he is not the main guy. He was never meant to be the main guy. We signed him when we didn't sign Mudryk. We dodged that bullet big time, let's be real. But overall speaking, yes, that was a plan B, and it worked out well in the first season as well, in that first half season, the seasons afterwards. It's just the fact that Trossard is hella inconsistent. And for me, that is a big worry with Trossard. He's quite inconsistent. You never know you're going to get balling out on fire Trossard, or you're going to get drunken Stella Art Trossard. And that is the biggest letdown for with Trossard at the moment, and has been overall. What if Zubimendi playing as a number 10? Nah, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work, I think. Zubimendi as an 8 might work. As a 10, I'm not too sure, definitely. Yeah, Coyote scored. Trossard has the shooting and passing. Martinelli has the pace and dribbling. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Martinelli and dribbling as well. He feels like he's a fake Brazilian when I watch him. He has one dribbling move, drop the ball past defender and try to outpace him. He doesn't have the dribbling. Trossard has better dribbling than Martinelli, in my opinion. Not gonna lie, Martinelli's dribbling leaves much more to be desired, in my opinion. When I hear words dribbling and Brazilian, Martinelli is nowhere near the player that springs to mind. I'm just gonna be honest with you. If Trossard had Nelly's pace and Nelly had Trossard's technical finishing, trust me, if we could mold those two players into one, we would have a phenomenal left winger. If we had let's just say we had the youth of Martinelli, the pace of Martinelli, the technical ability of Trossard and finishing of Trossard, that left wing would be just mwah. When Yeri's like Emil Smith-Rowe, not good enough, or am I the dumb and hype same like Willock, Nelson, and Balogun? We don't really have a good academy. Wait, what? When Yeri is good enough, it's just the fact that he didn't get enough chances. Let's just put it that way. At the same time, saying that, we talk about Yeri. Daumann is blowing him out of the water. I know we have a very small sample size in terms of Max Daumann compared to Ethan Nwaneri, right? But if I speak from what I have seen so far, Max Daumann at 16 blows Nwaneri out of the water big time. I'm not gonna lie. I just put it that way. Rice 6, Zubimendi 8, and Eze 10. Yeah, I would want to see something like that. 100%. Rice at the 6, Zubimendi in the 8 in advanced role, because Zubimendi is more technical with better passing, definitely. The issue with the 8 role, at least in this Arsenal team and this Arsenal style and system, is the fact that number 8 needs to do excruciating amounts of running. And Zubimendi definitely doesn't have the lung capacity to do so like Declan Rice does. And I think as much as we would gain to a degree with playing Zubimendi in the 8, we also might lose quite a bit with playing Zubimendi in the 8. Saying that, with Rice in the 6, we might need to worry less about that running stuff, because Rice actually would be a proper disruptor in that 6 role and could stop the opposing attacks right in their tracks. Let's just put it that way. I like Gyökeres. He's a pro. Well, he better be. Otherwise, why is he at Arsenal if he wasn't a pro? Jorginho was a band-aid, same like Trossard. Yeah, right. In which universe Trossard has been a band-aid? Yes, we need better. There's no argument about that. But to call a Trossard a band-aid is a very big disrespect to Leandro Trossard. I'm not gonna lie. Martinelli should be tried out more as a number 9. That definitely. We've been talking about this on the stream for so long and so much. I'm not gonna lie, it's getting tiring already talking about the Martinelli as a 9. Definitely, we should try that. When Yeri is a prospect, he can grow into... Okay, we are not using this type of comparisons here. We don't use these two names in the same sentence even at this stage. Not even the same thought process. Messi type player, what the hell? There is only one Messi, and there's only gonna be one Messi. Nobody's close to Messi, and nobody's similar to Messi. Players are unique, players are who they are, and to compare to them to someone like that, arguably the GOAT to a degree, like that is just woof. Odegaard is the best at 8. He's too weak for the 8. That is the thing. Even as a 10, he ducks out of so many tackles, and in the 8, you don't have the luxury to duck out of tackles. You actually need to stick into a tackle, and Odegaard doesn't scream that at all. Let's just put it that way. Odegaard presses tackles. What, he plays Xbox and just presses the A or X button for slide tackle, or what do you mean? Yeah, Nelly, the thing is, I think it might be too late for Martinelli to save his life at Arsenal. That also could be a case. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. I know. I know you never said he could be. He can grow into Messi. I know what you mean. He is not gonna be Messi. He will not be Messi, but he can grow into a very huge player. He has the potential and he has the ability to be very huge. The thing is, he needs proper coaching and proper management. And Arteta provides best case scenario one of those. He needs a manager who provides both of those. And it doesn't feel like he's going to get it as long as Arteta is here. Personally for me. We will see about that, but at the moment, after almost 6.5 years in charge, definitely doesn't feel like that. Let's just put it that way. Oh, Thiago scores again. 2-0 Brentford. Well, Wolves are going down. That's pretty much confirmed. Igor Thiago makes it 2-0. I think, yeah, definitely. Brentford are pushing for that Champions League spot. I'm not going to lie. They're only 4 points behind Champions League spot if they win today. And they are only 2 points behind Europa League. The Brentford hype is real. No, I'm not gonna lie that the fact that Brentford is up there, I didn't expect that. Brentford was one of my favorites actually to potentially go down this season. And they are up there fighting for Europe. It's actually nuts to say the least. Same with United, to be honest. Never expected them to be on the Champions League spot, yet they are not comfortably there, but they're looking very, very strong candidates to finish top 4. Odegaard likes vision, shouldn't be in the 10. I think his 8 suits him because he can do what Rice does in the 8. The Rice should be at 6. We'll see. When Wolves beat Liverpool, I thought they would make a wonder tale. Guess I was wrong. Well, it wasn't long-lived. Let's just put it that way. You can have some spur moments. You can catch someone off guard overall, but over the extended period of time, let's be real. In Premier League, in any league, to be honest, 2-3 games overall, not enough. You need to be consistent more or less throughout the whole season to do anything. To finish top 4, to finish at the top, to not to get relegated. And with the start that Wolves had, the ship has sailed big time. Yeah, Igor, by the way, Igor Thiago has been called up to Brazil national team, people, as well. And this is the big one. There are Arsenal players being called up to international duty too. And we're not going to talk about Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, they are going. But this kind of surprised me a tiny bit. Not Gabriel Magalhaes specifically, but Gabriel Martinelli has been called up to the Brazil national team for the upcoming friendlies against France and Croatia. Neymar didn't get taken, right? But Martinelli did. Might be due to game time and everything, who knows? But Martinelli mostly is gonna be a number 9, isn't he? Martinelli for Brazil is gonna be mostly a number 9. Because Jesus did not get taken, Igor Thiago got taken, and Brazil don't have those strikers anymore. They don't have them. And Martinelli, under Ancelotti especially, he has played quite a few games as a number 9. He even has scored as a number 9 in most of those games. And like that Martinelli call-up, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit surprised. I'm happy for the guy, don't get me wrong. But I am a bit surprised, let's just put it that way, regarding Martinelli's call-up to Brazil national team. Ooh, Fabrizio Romano is hyping up the transfer window already, by the way. And it directly involves Arsenal, by the way. It directly involves Arsenal, people. Look at this. Whoa, that's a very small... Sorry. There we go. Arsenal want to sign an attacker in the summer. It could be 1. It could be 2. Yes, people, you heard it right. It could be 2. It's based on outgoings, but also on opportunities. Arsenal will do something up front for sure. Season is not over. None of the competitions have ended for Arsenal specifically, but Fabrizio Romano is already hyping up the transfer window. What the hell is this about? Let the people focus on the league, on the title race and everything. Let the people focus on that. We'll assess afterwards. Genuinely, Nico Williams. If we sign Nico Williams, I'm gonna become an F1 channel. I don't want to see Nico Williams at Arsenal. Nowhere close to Arsenal. I'm sorry, but I don't. Let's just put it that way. Like, no chance in hell. Another thing that shocked me today, which I don't get it, how football has gone to this. Well, not football, let's just say Premier League. Even football in general, because you didn't see this too often back in the day. But these days, it's a normal thing. By the way, Arsenal are set to face Liverpool in pre-season friendly this August in Dublin. Now, I get it. Pre-season friendlies, all great, all fine. Why the actual F we are actually playing Premier League teams? That is one of those things we obviously talk about every single summer, because we somehow, in the last 5 years or so, we only play Premier League teams. Why? You know, your Newcastle, Spurs, Liverpool, United, all these teams. Why? I just cannot figure this out. Is it because of money? Because it sells? What happened to the days when we played teams like Nürnberg, MLS All-Stars, and all these teams? MLS All-Stars is a bit of a money scam as well, but let's just put it that way. When we played teams like Nürnberg and everything. Like, make that make sense. Played your Barnsleys, Coventries to warm up, then you go to Nürnberg, then you fly a bit there. Remember we played PSG, we played Barcelona as well in preseason. Now we just play Premier League teams. Like, come on, man, what are we doing to get ready for Premier League? I give over. Seriously, that's just come on. That's like, I am like just say I work with graphic designs. So why you're using Photoshop? Well, because I'm doing graphic designs. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Nico Williams is too much money, and I haven't seen highlight reel of him for a while. Yeah, Nico Williams is way too much money. He will cost in wages way goddamn too much. And again, I don't want to see him. Personally, for me, for the last 8-9 years, actually, I wanted Nico Williams at Arsenal. Seriously. Not Nico, sorry, fucking hell. Iñaki Williams, his brother, because he actually is a proper footballer. But not Nico Williams. Not Nico Williams. No chance in hell. No chance in hell. Big up, Rich. Big up, Rich. Hope you're doing well, Rich. People, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe to Rich as well. Top guy, top lad, top content, not a top gooner. Let's just put it that way. Top guy, top lad. People, subscribe to him. That's the point of friendly from a coach. We play them almost every year. It's dumb. It genuinely 90% of reason we play your Newcastles, Liverpools, because it sells. Obviously, Arsenal versus PSG, Arsenal versus Barcelona also is selling, but somehow we play the Premier League teams exclusively right now at this stage. Like, that is just insane. I'm gonna go now. Have a big up, David Raya. Keep saving them shots tomorrow, and I hope you keep a clean sheet. Thank you for dropping by. Big up, David. Big up, big up. Thiago has been one of the best players of the season. Been brilliant, yeah. For Brentford, he has been phenomenal. Cannot wait for Brentford to sell him for about 80 million in summer. How much did they pay for him? How much did Brentford play for Igor Thiago? Just curious. 28 million pounds. 28 million pounds. 100%, he's gonna go for 70, 80 million. Without shadow of a doubt. Like, it's actually gonna be insane when that's gonna happen. Like, it's like Brentford's system as well. There are teams whose system is kind of made and moduled in a way that it caters strikers. Like for Brentford or Bournemouth with Solanke and everything, they play to their strengths. Just like, for example, Eintracht Frankfurt, right? They are the ones that know how to scam Europe, basically. Because there's Jovic, Ale, Kolomuani, and we can go on so on and so on and so on and so on. And they bag all the goals, then they sell them for inflated prices, and when they go to a different club, well, they disappear. Go figure. Genuinely, go figure. But yeah, it is like that. But it is what it is. Anyways, on to the actual things at hand. Let's actually switch our attention to something different. Bayer Leverkusen versus Arsenal. Arsenal, and I'm not going to say they have their backs against the wall, but definitely this game now, due to the draw, which we also scammed with the penalty, by the way, has added pressure to it. Arsenal must win. There are no excuses. And this week for Arsenal is the biggest week in Mikel Arteta's career, arguably. Because he needs to win the cup. He needs to win in Champions League. And then after international break, of course, we have Southampton at St. Mary's. So this is the biggest week in Arteta's career as a manager. And the fact that we play Carabao Cup final as well, I know I'm getting ahead of myself a tiny bit, but bear with me here. I know that we play Carabao Cup final on Sunday, and straight after that, there is international break. If we lose that game, the pain throughout the whole international break is going to be unbearable. We cannot afford to do this stuff. We need to win both of these games. Both of these games. Obviously, goes without saying, David Raya goes in goal. David Raya goes in goal. That just goes without saying. Best goal in the world all around. No chance in hell. No chance in hell. Arsenal Leverkusen in extra time and penalties kind of vibe for me. I can see where you're coming from based on how the game went on at Leverkusen. I can definitely see that. Definitely can see that. That game definitely has some spiciness to it. Because if you look even at tomorrow's games in Champions League specifically, right? If you look at tomorrow's games, Arsenal versus Bodo Glimt, and that could be the case, to be honest, in a bit. But Sporting versus Bodo Glimt. Bodo Glimt has 3-0 lead. PSG versus Chelsea. Chelsea has 5-2 lead. City versus Real Madrid. Real Madrid has 3-0 lead. Every single game besides Arsenal game has a 3-goal difference. Basically, every team has a mountain to climb that is losing. In Arsenal's game, there is a draw. And the team that's gonna win tomorrow is gonna go through to the next round. And I God pray for everyone that it's Arsenal. Because if it's not, the crash out, the burnout, the emotions, the rants, the meltdown is going to be out of this world, to say the least. Genuinely, it's gonna be out of this world. Let's just put it that way. Anyways, right back. It's gonna be Christian Mosquera. Center back pairing, Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes. A person who should be the captain of Arsenal. Period. None of these Odegaard, wannabe marshmallow ghost guards, none of the Saka guys or anyone else. Gabriel should be the captain of Arsenal. For me. Some people will say Declan Rice. I can accept that, but definitely not Bukayo Saka or Martin Odegaard. Just gonna put it that way. Anyways, moving on to the midfield. As much as I hate to do this, I'm not gonna lie, I would start Norgard if it was me, but it's gonna be Zubimendi in it. So for me, it's gonna be like that. It's gonna be Rice. It's gonna be Eze. Eberechi Eze. Gyökeres is gonna be up top. And now bear with me here on this one. Right wing, Noni Madueke. Left wing, Bukayo Saka. I need to see this. I need to see this because if Madueke starts and he's on the left wing, that left wing is going to be non-existent. We all have seen over the previous times Madueke has started on the left wing, he just disappears, which means part of Arsenal's attack and team in general disappears. So Madueke must start on the right if he starts. This would be my lineup not my lineup. I would want something like this. In ideal scenario, I would do this. In ideal scenario, just so we can counteract the physicality, the press, and the toughness that Bayer Leverkusen is gonna throw at us once again. I would actually try something like that. Definitely. Madueke is not a left winger. Fully agree. Exactly. For me, that is the thing. Bukayo Saka, we play a football where players with their strong foot are on inside, which means they have to cut inside almost every single time, which makes them 90% of the time as predictable as a house tour. They can cut inside, whip it across, or cut inside, pass it backwards. Now, saying that, if we swap wings around, players' dominant foot will be on the outside, which gives more unpredictability for our attack, basically. Let's just put it that way. We can cross the ball, and we can pass it backwards as well. And let's not kid ourselves. Saka actually has very decent right foot, and Madueke as well. He also does not have a useless weak foot as well. So definitely that could be the case. Big up, Quaja. Big up, Quaja. Hope you're doing well today. Smash the likes and subscribe, people, as well, by the way, if you haven't already. 13 likes. Big up to you all. If we can push it up to 15 or even 20 by the end of the stream, I would be forever most grateful to you all. Big up, big up, big up, big up. Hope everyone's doing well today. But yeah, I fully to be honest, I'm not gonna lie. Tomorrow, what I expect to see tomorrow on the pitch in the starting 11. This will be the starting 11 tomorrow, what I expect. I expect the starting 11 when it comes out to say something like this. That's my expectation tomorrow when the lineup gets called. That is my expectation. I don't want this 11. I'm putting this out right now. But that is my expectation from the game. From the starting 11. Sorry, not the game. I would play Norgard ahead of Zubmendi and Mosquera ahead of Timber. Well, Timber is not even playing. Timber is out. Arteta has confirmed that Timber is fully out for tomorrow's game. So I would start Mosquera without shadow of a doubt. Fully agree with that. Personally, for me as well, I would start Norgard in that 6 role just so we can counter the physicality and toughness that Leverkusen are going to try to impose on us like they did in Leverkusen. I definitely would. But obviously, Mikel Arteta probably will think otherwise. Let's just put it that way. Or other way, Rice in the 6, Skelly in the 8. But we have not played a lot like that, which means Arteta is not going to take unnecessary risks in this situation. Towards the game, when it's coming to an end, maybe it's still a draw, then he maybe is going to sub on Max Dauman again and try for a 16-year-old to save his bacon once again. But otherwise, yeah, this might be the case. The problem for Arsenal players that each and every player to believe having 2-4 touches before release the ball. Yeah, they try to play the perfect pass, the perfect assist, the perfect football, score an empty net goal. They try to do something like that. But they need to realize that, yes, you should strive for perfection. There is no argument about that. You should strive for perfection. At the same time, forget about it. On football pitch, 22 players, 1 ball, it's not going to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. Sometimes you have to start to improvise. Sometimes you need to forget certain things, what you have basically been drilled into you and pushed into you. Sometimes you need to just go off what instinct is telling you. And somehow feels like the instinct has been that lots of things in the gameplay has been so drilled into our players that they absolutely ignore their attacking instincts and they just stick to the game plan. And it is costing us. I wouldn't play Zubimendi. Yeah, same. I would not, but I fully expect Arteta to play. Personally, for me, I would actually start Zubimendi. Norgard. I would start Norgard just so we can counterattack the physicality and the press. Leave Norgard, guys. Zubimendi is crucial in our midfield. Won't lie, he's bloody good. Definitely not. I'm not saying he's not good, but he's a liability. So you're saying lose to be final, City could have an edge in the title race, could have the edge. City have caught us even if Liverpool in position like this until this mathematically is resolved and City cannot catch us. I'm not going to get excited. I'm going to be giddy on silent mode, basically on airplane mode. I'm not going to do that on streams. I'm going to hope and pray while I'm alone. At the same time, I'm not going to push this into the world. I'm not going to put myself to look like a jackass. Because if I'm going to start now screaming, yes, we have won the league, everything is done and dusted, and in a month, City are 1 point ahead of us, like, I'm not going to do that because I'm not that type of a person. I always expect the best but prepare for the worst. I'm always been like that. Always. Whenever I do something, I expect the best, but I'm also ready if something goes wrong. I'm always ready for that. Hence why many people don't like me, because I say it as it is. I never sugarcoat it. I'm not that type of person as well. Hence why I'm not sitting here, hey, quad, hey, treble, hey, Mikel Arteta, hey, have a poster of Arteta on the wall. Never gonna have it. Never gonna happen. Ever. I'm never gonna get giddy over this stuff until it's actually done. Like, let's be real. Never say ha before you have jumped. We don't take no long shots and barely or never score from free kicks. Yeah, that is it. Literally, we don't score many free kicks, direct free kicks, and we very rarely take long shots. Very rarely. Neither goal. Yeah, leave more cross from set pieces. To be honest, it seems to be working for us, but hey, that's a bit different situation in it. Anyways, predictions for the game. I am going, wait, 3-1 Arsenal. I'm going 3-1 Arsenal. And people will say, oh, you moron, they cannot score, we cannot score goals. Where do you think the 3 goals are going to come from and all this crap? I think it's going to be 3-1. I'm not saying it's going to be in full time. It might be extra time. But I'm saying or we might win 3-1 on penalties, right? But it's going to be 3-1. I'm saying 3-1 Arsenal. Nice cop-out, to be honest. I'm going to pat myself on the back for that one. It's not just them. It's in general like that, but it is what it is. At this stage, you either make amends with that or you're going to suffer till the end of the season. Seriously. We might need own goal, set piece, or penalty to win tomorrow. We will. I don't think we will. We need to continue winning games and pray Man City can. Well, as long as we do our job, it doesn't matter what Manchester City does. Let's be real. As long as we keep winning, it doesn't matter if Man City keep winning as well, because we are ahead and they need to pray that we drop points. We don't need to pray on nothing on Man City. They need to pray on us that we drop points. Extra time and pens with Leverkusen. It might be another, like, I'm not gonna lie, the first game we played in Leverkusen gave me somewhat Porto vibes. I'm gonna be honest with you. That game we played against Porto in Champions League 2 years ago, last year, 2 years ago, it gave me the same type of vibes. It gave me the same type of vibes. I'm not gonna lie. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, that is the thing. Other teams, they know that if they're gonna go toe-to-toe with us, they're gonna get put in a split easily. If they try to play low block, they have very big chances to get at least something from the game. The thing is, it's been like that for years now. And Arteta still does not have an answer how to beat them on consistent basis. Yes, it is set pieces. But set pieces also are not a guarantee. Nothing is a guarantee. I would want to see us try and beat these low blocks from open play as well, not just set pieces. We just need to win. End off. Exactly. Focus on tomorrow first and get the job done first. Exactly. Focus on that game and we'll see what's going to happen. Good night. Big up, Mubarak. Good night to you. Have a nice evening. Enjoy your time. Hope everything's fine with you and enjoy your peace. I'll just put it that way. Like, personally, any team can play however they want. It goes like that for our opponents, and it goes the same way to Arsenal. We play however we want to play. Whether it's set pieces, whether it's maintaining possession, absolute control, or whatever. The thing is, at some point, both sides are going to get figured out. Then it's on the manager also to figure out how to change things, to basically do something new, to put spanner in the works in the opposing team's wheels. And unfortunately, with Arsenal, like, we don't have those things. If many teams have like proper steel or platinum sticks they put in our wheels, right? Arsenal somehow how they're made from plastic and they tend to break and we tend to struggle and sometimes we don't even get the result. Timber needs to rest for Sunday. Good. Timber needs to rest. The issue is he's not resting because has been given a break. He's resting because he's been injured. That two completely different things, in my opinion. That is the thing. But Arteta says it's day to day, right? We all know what that means sometimes with Mikel Arteta because day to day was with Tomiyasu, was with Ben White before. It has been day to day with Odegaard as well so far, and we still have not even seen him. And this day to day stuff with Jesus and Partey before, like, there is a bit of a PTSD. Let's just put it that way, just for lack of a better word. Like, definitely. Timber is injured. He's not even resting. He's resting because he's injured, not because Arteta has given him a day off. Because let's be real, if Timber was fully fit, he would be playing tomorrow. Without shadow of a doubt. Because Timber is one of those main pillars in Arsenal's foundation for the success this season. And there is no chance in hell Arteta would leave him on the bench or out of the squad if there wasn't some concerns. And unfortunately, there are concerns at the moment. Yeah, to be honest, that Rice's injury, that Rice holding his ankle or his knee, which he did in the beginning of the game against Everton, I'm not gonna lie, I got a bit of a heart attack because if he goes out, yeah, it might be hella long for Arsenal then. Hopefully, Rice doesn't get injured. Timber will play mind games. Yeah, remember the mind games against PSG when Timber was begging not to play because he couldn't walk properly and they said play anyways on injections? Those were some 1,000 IQ mind games from Timber. The team just didn't listen to him. How can you trust an image from a machine more than what actually the player is telling you how he feels? It makes no sense to me. Seriously. Because I can look at the weather app and it says raining and I look outside and it's sunny. I'm not going to take umbrella outside, am I? So go figure. Genuinely go figure. In that regard. Like, it's actually wild if you look at those things. But overall for tomorrow, I'm saying 3-1 Arsenal. I think we're going to get the job done. It will be squeaky. It will be rough. But I think in the end, we will prevail. Without shadow of a doubt. No, I cannot say without shadow of a doubt because it's Arsenal. But we definitely will prevail. We definitely will prevail. I think Arsenal, we are in this situation right now where we know how to get the job done. We have been there, we have done that, and I think we're going to do it again. Let's just put it that way. Let's just put it that way. Just get the job done, win the game, and then full focus on Sunday on the Carabao Cup final. Because if it goes wrong on Sunday, first things first, we will have 10 days of international break to sulk in pain. And straight afterwards, we will have FA Cup away at St. Mary's. And we all know that Arsenal at St. Mary's always is a struggle. So, and see, our players, and most of the players that come back from international break are jaded, fatigued, not in the best of forms many times. So it could be long. Because from Southampton, not many are going to go there to international break. So, deep breath, massive week ahead. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. kickoff, Arsenal versus Leverkusen. Tomorrow, I am not going live. Because obviously, Arsenal play at 8 p.m., right? However, I'm going to be on Rashid's channel, 6:40 p.m. UK time, for the starting 11 show before the Champions League game. Hopefully, I'm going to catch you there too, people. But for today, I'm going to be signing off. I'm going to be heading out. Have a nice evening. Enjoy your time. Like the stream. Subscribe if you are new. Genuinely helps a lot. Would be fantastic to get to 140 as well very, very soon. And hopefully going to see you very soon as well. Hopefully you're going to be here. So take care. Stay safe. And, well, hopefully we do great tomorrow. Peace.